What if you could earn money without worrying about market crashes? Think about that for a second. No panic when you check your phone, no stress about the daily news. Well, that's exactly what bonds and fixed income investments offer. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking one of the most powerful, yet honestly, kind of misunderstood tools in the entire financial world. Over the next few minutes, you'll understand bonds and fixed income in the absolute simplest way possible, and you'll see exactly how they help protect your hard-earned money. Here is our quick roadmap for today. Section 1, what is a bond? Section 2, types of bonds. Section 3, fixed income. Section 4, bonds versus stocks. Section 5, risks. And finally, Section 6, when to invest. Let's get right into it. Section 1, what is a bond? The loan concept. Okay, let's dive into this. At its very core, a bond is literally just a loan. But here is the fun twist. Instead of you going to a bank to borrow money, you are acting as the bank. It's honestly a bit like getting to play the Monopoly banker in real life. You are the one handing over a loan to a massive entity, whether that's a national government or a huge global corporation. And in return for letting them use your cash to build a new bridge or expand their operations, they promise you two incredibly important things. First, regular interest. This is your fixed income. It's basically them saying, hey, thanks for the cash, here's your cut. And second, capital protection. This means your original money, what we call your principal, absolutely must be returned to you at the very end of the loan period, known as maturity. It's a beautifully simple exchange that completely flips the script on who owes who. Let's ground this in a super concrete example. Say you invest 10,000 rupees in a bond that promises a 7% interest rate for a duration of 5 years. Year 1, you earn 700 rupees. Year 2, boom, another 700 rupees. It is absolute clockwork, guys. You get that predictable 700 rupees every single year, totally ignoring whatever the stock market is doing or what the doom and gloom financial headlines are screaming. You don't even have to look at a stock ticker. Then, the real magic happens in year 5. You get your final 700 rupees of interest, plus your original 10,000 rupees handed right back to you in full. You just earned a steady, reliable income over half a decade, and your initial capital was entirely protected the whole time. Section 2, types of bonds. The 3 main categories. So, who exactly are you lending your money to? Well, there is a descending scale of safety here. Right at the very top, we have government bonds. Think of things like treasury bills. Because these are issued by national governments, they carry very, very low risk. I mean, if a government is struggling to pay its debts, they have a pretty handy superpower. They can usually just raise taxes or literally print more money to make sure you get paid. Next step down, we have municipal bonds. These are issued by your local city or state authorities. When your town needs to fund a massive public project, like a new highway, a school, or a water treatment plant, they issue these. They are historically very safe and reliable. Finally, we have corporate bonds. These are issued by actual companies, from massive tech giants to local factories. Now, lending your money to a corporation is inherently a bit riskier than lending it to a whole country, right? So, to tempt you, these companies have to offer higher returns. You take on a slightly higher risk of the company hitting a rough patch, but you get a slightly higher reward for your trust. Section 3, fixed income, stable returns. Now, what's really interesting here is that bonds are actually part of a much larger investment family called fixed income. This includes any financial instrument that gives you predictable, stable returns with lower risk. So everyday things you probably already know about, like fixed deposits at your local bank or debt mutual funds, they sit right alongside bonds in this broader category. Why does this matter? Well, if you are a conservative investor, or maybe a retiree who literally relies on a paycheck every single month to cover groceries and rent, these fixed income instruments are absolutely perfect for generating that reliable stability. You aren't tossing a coin guessing what your paycheck will be. You know exactly what is coming. Section 4, bonds versus stocks. The financial guardian versus the growth engine. I absolutely love this comparison. Think of stocks as your sword and bonds as your shield. Stocks are high risk. Their returns are wildly variable. They jump up and down constantly based on a single news headline or even just a random social media rumor. And the income? Absolutely not guaranteed. It can be a massive roller coaster. But switch your mindset over to bonds for a second. Feel how the pace changes here. The risk is incredibly low. The returns are completely stable. The income is securely fixed. Bonds are your financial guardian. They do not exist to aggressively conquer the market. They exist purely to defend your capital, keep you grounded, and give you absolute peace of mind while your stocks do the heavy lifting for growth. Section 5, risks, what to watch out for. Okay, let's be real, even the best financial shields have a few weak spots, and I want to make sure you are fully empowered and informed here. There are three main risks you gotta watch out for. First is interest rate risk. It's a simple seesaw effect. If new bonds hit the market paying higher interest rates than the old bond you currently hold, well, your old bond suddenly becomes less attractive to buyers. That causes its resale price to fall if you try to sell it early. Second is credit risk. This is the blunt, unavoidable reality that the company you loaned your money to could, theoretically, go bankrupt and default on the loan. Lastly, lower returns. Look, by explicitly choosing safety and stability over risk, you are accepting that, mathematically, your overall returns are going to be lower than what you'd achieve in the wild stock market over the course of a few decades. Section 6. When to invest. Finding your stability. So, practically speaking, when should you actually pull the trigger and buy bonds? You buy them when you're getting close to a major financial goal, like buying a house or finally retiring, and you absolutely cannot afford a sudden market crash wiping out your savings. You also buy them when you just need a reliable, ongoing stream of income to live on. Smart investors often use a classic 60-40 portfolio structure to balance this out. They use 60% equity as their growth engine to keep building wealth, but they securely anchor that wealth with 40% in bonds for pure stability. It's all about consciously balancing that risk to protect your overall capital. If you are a beginner investor tuning into this, here is your game plan. Step 1. Start with debt mutual funds or ultra-safe government bonds. Get a genuine feel for how fixed income behaves without exposing yourself to unnecessary stress. Step 2. Avoid high-risk corporate bonds initially. Seriously, as a beginner, do not chase a slightly higher interest rate if it comes with the anxiety of credit risk. Start with the safest options, build your confidence, and make sure you understand the core mechanics first. The absolute crucial point to remember is this: bonds will not make you rich overnight. They don't grow wealth fast. But they are the ultimate wealth shield. They help you stay rich by protecting what you've spent years building. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into fixed income. In our next explainer, we're going to take everything we learned today and show you exactly how to build a balanced portfolio using an equity and debt strategy. You definitely don't want to miss that, so be sure to hit that subscribe button right now to learn more. I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder. Knowing what you know now about the protective power of bonds, is your portfolio truly protected against the next market crash? See you next time.